Hey everybody, it's Shady here again. So for today's video, I wanted to discuss the rumoured Final Fantasy IX remake and really just what I'd like to see from it, my wish list if you will. Obviously, for those who probably don't know, the Final Fantasy IX remake is pretty much, it's been rumoured since that Nvidia leak that happened a couple of years back. Basically this leak, a lot of the stuff, pretty much everything on there has come to fruition. So I think we're all just like expecting this to happen at some point. And Square Enix are like in the basically they've been remaking a lot of classic games. Obviously Final Fantasy VII Remake is the main one, and then they've been doing loads of sort of more 16-bit JRPGs and stuff. So it feels like it probably will happen. 9 is a very popular game, so I feel like it's not a stretch. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's just pretend it is going to happen for the sake of this video. And now I'd like to discuss what I want to see from it. So I think, first of all, obviously, I really want to see this be like from a ground up kind of remake. One of those ones where, maybe it's done in Unreal Engine 4 or something, and it's pretty much, everything is remade. So it's not just going to be one of those, coat of paint sort of remasters like we've seen with some other games. Not that would be a bad thing, but I feel like if you're going to remake this game, then may as well go all out. Secondly, I really feel like this is a must. It has to be turn-based for me, just because the Final Fantasy series, I love what they've been doing with the newer games, all the action RPG ones, but it would just be nice and a change of pace if they just stuck with turn-based for this game, because 9 had a pretty solid battle system. I think there's there was not too much wrong with it in my opinion. You could probably rebalance some things, which we'll get into in some other points, but I think it'd just be a really cool thing, because I feel like the fans of that game are really they love traditional JRPGs anyway, so it only makes sense to keep it as a turn-based game. Next up, obviously a pretty obvious one. I think I'd like to see voice acting in the game, obviously, but it would be nice if they had the option to not have voice acting and just have those voice bubbles like a traditional Final Fantasy game. So we, for the fans of the original, we can play it like that original one if we'd like to. I think that'd be a really cool thing, because it obviously it's more convenient to have voice acting, and it and it helps for storytelling. But I don't know, it's just so cool as well. I love just being able to read it and just imagine their voices in a way. And it would be really interesting to see how they sound compared to what I imagined anyway. Obviously, we have a voice for Zidane, because if you played Dissidia, he's a character in those games, so they voiced him in that. Him and Kuja, I think it was, which was cool. And I like the voices in that game. So, but yeah, I think obviously next up, I think it would be really cool if they look at maybe some rebalancing to the battle system. I think one thing I would like, even though I think I got the point of it, but the trance system, it would be great if it was just optional to turn it on when you want to. Because one annoying thing is you get into just a normal battle, and then your trance activates because you get hit, and then it's basically wasted, and you're like, I wanted that for a boss, come on. I get the point of trance. It was meant to be just it's not in your control, and it's a cool bonus to have when you have it. They didn't want it to be abusable like limit breaks in previous games, but I still think you could balance it around being an optional thing that you can use, like limit breaks in other games. So then I think also another thing I'd really love to see is when it comes to those friendly creatures, that whole quest line, it'd just be cooler just to kind of have that be a little bit more clearer as to what the point of it was, because I feel like a lot of people, I guess you can't completely let people know, but basically there's like a super boss at the end of the game, And if you haven't done that, Friendly Creatures Crest, to fight against him is even harder. So, you know, I think it'd be cool if there was just a, you know, the game can make a point to say, you know, you want to be helping these guys out, or maybe they can give you some more rewards along the way to make you want to do that sort of thing. Next up, I think it would be really cool if they're looking to, you know, maybe adding more sort of little quests to do along the way and interesting things, because, you know, I'm just thinking about some of the places you go to, and, you know, it's really cool interacting with the NPCs, but then having a little bit more to do with them would be cool. You know, I don't really want like modern game quest type things, because some of those can be a chore, but I just want, like, you know, a little bit more interaction, just have some more important NPCs, because there's a lot of really cool scenes in 9 anyway. There's some really it's basically like you get to do the thing where you kind of switch perspectives of characters and they get these cool scenes, but they're optional. It'd be cool if they kind of implement that into sort of side quests and stuff, in you know, in a nice way, because yeah, that whole system is really great. I can't for the life of me remember what it was called, but you pretty much just change the perspective. Like, let's say you go into a city, the party split up, and then you can see like Vivi's perspective of what he's doing, or like Steiner, or, you know, maybe Garnet or whatever, all the little adventures they go on, and it just helps build kind of, yeah, it really helps flesh those characters out in a way, which is really cool. I think next up, I think one really cool thing would be obviously having more super bosses come on. That's like pretty much obvious, isn't it? It's basically just, I don't know if it even counts, but you obviously have Hades and Ozma. Obviously, spoiler alert, I do apologize. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, yeah, there's not really much else to do in terms of super bosses, so it'd be nice to have some other ones. You know, I always felt like it was a shame that we had no Ultima or Omega in the game, so it'd be nice if we had them in some form or something like that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Now I think obviously another cool thing to see would be the that whole Chocobo Hot and Cold minigame. It'd be nice if, because the problem is that with it, in my opinion, was you just get this kind of little image and you kind of, and a little clue, and it's very cryptic and kind of, yeah, it's a nightmare to try to figure out, and you just kind of get a rough idea, and then you just have to keep kind of plucking away until you finally find it. And it'd be nice if that was maybe designed to be more intuitive. I think that's what I'd really like to say on that. Also, I think Tetramaster, obviously that needs to stay. And what I'd really like to see is maybe there could be more tournaments and stuff, because there's one major part in the game where you do a Tetramaster tournament, and it would be really cool if there was like more of them you could go through and do in different areas, and you know, you can win cool cards and stuff. Because for the most part, Tetramaster is just a fun little thing you can do. And obviously, I prefer Triple Triad from 8, but what I really liked about Final Fantasy 8 was that had a full-on quest, the Queen of Cards quest, which net you some incredible cards. Bit of a nightmare to do, a lot of RNG involved, and there's some resetting and stuff if you want to do it without, you know, pulling your hair out or whatever. But yeah, it'd be nice if there was like a bit more involvement of Tetramaster in this remake, because it's a really cool game. I believe it also did make an appearance in Final Fantasy 11 as well, so, which is cool. So, you know, maybe you could have cards involved with some of the other games or something. Like, it would be weird within the universe of 9, but, you know, maybe we can have some Final Fantasy 16 or like 8 or be a 7 cards or something, which would be nice. Also, I think that the game kind of needs to do a better job at explaining the rules as well, because it's very trial and error. Yeah, because I don't want to get too. I'm not going to get into the rules of Tetramaster, because that would be too much of a tangent. But yeah, I think that would be awesome anyway. Yeah, I think that would be some of the most important things. But obviously, there's other little things like obviously instead of random encounters, we'll have roaming enemies, like in the newer games. I think would be great. That's pretty much just a standard in RPGs now. I think Japanese ones at least. So yeah, I think that's obviously a must. And obviously, you know, the towns, I think they have to be expanded a little bit more, because it won't just be, I'm assuming anyway, fixed camera angles, and like we'll have a free roaming camera. You'd have to build, like, you know, these areas would have to be bigger and built to be more explorable, and just to see those areas that we weren't able to explore originally would be awesome. I think also the main one, just don't touch the story. I think it's perfect as it is. Like, you don't need to improve any of the story at all. And then obviously the development system. I think the you know, Magic Stone system is really cool, and I really like that. Yeah, you don't need to change that at all, in my opinion. Maybe you could enhance it in some way or something. Maybe there could be ways to acquire more stones outside of just when you level. So I think you can only get so many. And obviously what made the system great was that you had to make choices, you know, what you needed per battle, sort of thing. It's essentially like, it adds, it's basically just your passive abilities, really, the magic gen system. You learn them off your equipment, and then you equip them. You have a set amount of stones you can allocate to certain abilities, and abilities will take so many, if that makes sense. So, you know, like one that increases your HP may take 10 stones. One that, you know, will damage an enemy might take 2 or something. You know, I don't know if I really need to explain that, but yeah, it's out there anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much most of what I'd like to see, I think. You know, I think it's, yeah, it's a pretty much a perfect game, in my opinion. It's one of the few games I think I would probably regard as a 10 out of 10. So, you know, I think just don't mess with it too much. You know, unlike Final Fantasy VII, where, you know, they're doing something completely different. You know, and it's meant to be almost its own thing. I really feel like if you're going to remake 9, yeah, just stick with what's there. And I think, yeah, I know Square Enix feel like turn-based combat is a thing of the past or something, but it really isn't. I mean, they've done some of these older games still with turn-based stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of fans of these turn-based systems. You know, the people who play, millions of people who play Pokemon, Persona, and all those types of games. So, you know, turn-based combat isn't some sort of antiquated thing. So, but anyway, hope you enjoyed this. If you got anything out of it, yeah, I do appreciate it if you've seen it, and like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.